He's one of South Africa's foremost tech entrepreneurs, a self-made man who's both humble and street smart. And I think he's probably, arguably, our greatest tech entrepreneur if it wasn't for being born in the age of Elon Musk and Mark Shuttle. And I had the good fortune to speak to Vinny HR at the Creative Council building, that beautiful building next to the highway in Johannesburg, about some of the things he's been doing with the Dragon's Den. They've recently launched a book, and some of his advice for tech startups. It was a blast of an interview. Let's take a look. Vinny, welcome home.
Toby, thank you.
I think you're both a successful entrepreneur and a successful venture capitalist. It's very rare. How has understanding how venture capital works had an influence on how you've been able to run your businesses?
Look, I think when you're giving advice to entrepreneurs and you've done it before and you've been there, it makes it a lot easier and they actually take you a lot more seriously. I mean, if you look at my most, I think, recent success has been a company called Sweep South. We met Aisha and Alan, the two co-founders, a year ago. They were, literally at a pitch competition, a Medusa event last year. I was a judge, and I loved what they were doing. I thought it was amazing, but more importantly, I loved them. They're two amazing entrepreneurs. They've sold their house. They've sold their car. They work 24/7. I mean, I have access to their Slack chat room where I can go in, hey guys, how's it going? Pop in once in a while and see the stats coming through. And they're just so metrics driven. They're focusing on the numbers, customer engagement, customer happiness. Are people coming back to use their service? All the right stuff when you're building a company, and they care so much about the metrics of the business. And so when I met with these guys, it was very simple. It was like, look, they just need some seed capital to get started. We didn't invest a lot. My typical investments now, I've learned the hard way. You don't make big investments, you make lots of small ones, and there's a reason around that. We can get into it. But you spread the bets. And so I'd rather do more investments and work in syndicates with guys like Justin Stanford and Daniel Guasco and the guys in the Silicon Cape area. And we'd rather fund more businesses and give more entrepreneurs a chance, knowing that if one of them is successful, and I actually just need a 1 in 10 ratio. I need 1 in 10 investments to give me a 10x return, and that pays off the 10 investments, and then the other 9 is gravy. So I make my returns on the other 9. But I need to find that 1 in 10. And the approach you take locally is very different from the approach you take in Silicon Valley. So when I find entrepreneurs here, unfortunately, I'm going to be a bit of a cheapskate when it comes to valuations. I can't give them the valuations that they want because the failure rate here is so high. The chance of getting follow-on funding is so high. So if I want to invest in 100 companies in South Africa over the next 10 years, I need to spread my bets and make sure that at least, hopefully, 10 succeed, give me 10x returns. So I need to get good valuations on those companies so that at least the other 90 people who don't succeed, they will hopefully learn from those mistakes and be part of the next round of successful entrepreneurs. But you've got to take a portfolio approach. You cannot invest all your eggs in one basket when you're doing angel investing in South Africa. It is very risky.
And there's been a talk for a long time that there isn't enough angel investing or early stage investing for those not familiar with the phrase. I mean, have you found that the initiatives like the ones you've been involved with have helped offer this to young startups?
Look, we're trying. So Silicon Cape, is a non-profit raising money from FNB recently. We've got, again, a network of angel investors. And remember, these angel investments, the best ones are guys who are running companies. They're really busy. They don't have time to babysit you. They will give you advice when you need it. They'll write you a check for a couple of $100,000 rand. I mean, most startup entrepreneurs, what they should do right now, if I was starting up in Cape Town my first time around, I would go out and I would give a low valuation on my company and get 5 of the best CEOs who want to throw me 100,000 rand each, take the 500,000 rand, give them 20% of my company for that or whatever the number is, and go and build a company. And if I'm successful, I'll have enough money to fund my next thing myself. If I'm not, they've paid my school fees, and you know what, if I was successful, they would have made money, so it's a good deal. I find entrepreneurs are too hung up about valuations, equity, all these things. On the Dragon's Den.
Those are conversations for 3 years down the line.
Yes, pay your school fees, get to learn how to build a company. You probably won't get it right the first time, so someone's got to cover that cost, and it's typically investors.
What other advice would you give South African entrepreneurs, having done it both here and in Silicon Valley and done it excellently?
I think you have to optimize your business for success, not for percentage. If you want to hold 90% of something that's not going to go anywhere, you're going to waste your life. I'd rather have 20% of something that's going a rocket ship, right? And so just understand that. Understand that you'd rather have a small piece of a big pie, as the old cliche goes.
Mark Zuckerberg's only got 20%.
Only 20% of a $250, $300 billion company, whatever it is.
Poor guy only got 4% of Box. Vinny Lingham, thank you for joining us on the show. Always great to speak to you.
Thanks, Sophie. Great to be here.